Hey, how's it going, guys? Today I'm just going to walk you through a little macro that I came up with. It's not something that I really use a whole lot, but it's something I've thought about and wanted to put together. And it's basically just to password protect workbook and make sure whoever's got the password or doesn't have the password can't really access any of the data or see anything or make changes. It basically just locks anybody out that doesn't have the password. Excel has password protection built into it already, that you can protect certain things and protect the worksheet and hide pages and everything already, and it's really useful and really good. I just decided to make this macro to where it automatically makes everything, does everything for you. So for this example, I've got a password set up to where when I open the workbook, I just see sheet 1 and my user form pops up that I enter my password into. Okay, so when I enter the password, you can have it do just about whatever you want. In this example, what I'm going to do is, how I've got it set up is, you've got 3 attempts to put in the correct password. If you don't get the attempt, if you don't put in the right password after 3 attempts, the workbook closes and basically resets your password. It doesn't reset the password, but it just makes sure it sets everything to locked and hidden and everything, so that if it's reopened again, it just opens to this same screen here, okay, to where you have to put in the password another 3 times and so on and so forth. Then you can do that differently or whatever. That's just how I have it set up. But I have it set up also where when you do put in the correct password, what happens is this opening sheet, this sheet 1, which could be anything, just just blank. I put a button over here so that if you close out this password user form, you can reopen it. But if you put in the correct password and access the workbook, then what will happen is it will hide this sheet and unhide the sheets that you would be working on. Just basically the workbook that you would need to be working on. Okay, so I'll show you right here. We'll put in password, access workbook. Okay, so the password I entered is incorrect. I have one more try before the workbook closes. Now, I said that I have it set up to where you've got 3 tries before the workbook closes, and right here I just entered it the first time and it says I have one more try. So because I was in here just messing around with it and I didn't reset it back to the count, it thinks that I've already put the password in 2 times before. Okay, so if I try and put in the password again, it'll show me this message, and then it will actually close out the workbook. So that's what happens when I put the wrong password in. So I'm going to put in, let's see, okay. So I put in the right password, and so sheet 1 is hidden and it's showing sheet 3, 4, and 5, which would be just whatever sheets you'd have that have your data that you were having, hidden. Okay, so then I can make changes. I can do whatever I want in here. That's fine. So because I put in the correct password, it basically just unlocked it and allows me to do whatever I need to do. Okay. Now the workbook is still protected, because if you'll notice here, this new sheet button is grayed out. It's still protected. It's only I have it set up to only show the sheets that I want shown. So if I've got a workbook that I'm allowing somebody else to use to update, if I've got a coworker or an employee that I'm allowing to get in and add data to this, but I don't want them changing, you know, if I've got more sheets to it, or if I've got other stuff in it, you know, then I'm allowing that employee to see what's on these sheets and make their changes or add data to these changes, to these worksheets. But I'm not allowing them to actually make changes to the workbook. I can't, you know, they can't add sheets. You can't unhide any of the hidden sheets, which would be that sheet 1. I also have sheet 2, which is hidden, which shows, let's see, I will just do this one. So on sheet 2 is where I have hidden the password, okay, and also the tries, my wrong tries counter. Okay, so right here is what I have set up as my password. And you don't want people, even if they have the password and they're able to unlock it and make their changes to sheet 3, 4, and 5, maybe you don't want that person getting in and being able to change your password. Okay, so I can set my password to whatever I want. I have it right now set to my password. So whatever I type in the box when I first open up has to match what I have in A1 on sheet 2. Okay, and if you allow them to unlock that, they can change it, and then you'd be locked out of your own workbook. So that's why I keep this hidden, and then the workbook's still protected with a password. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and protect this again. See, and like I said, Excel has the ability to password protect your workbook and protect the sheets and protect what data is already in there, and allows users to only make certain changes. Excel has a great set of security and protection options. I just feel like this is kind of a cool little way where I can, when I open the workbook, I can put in the password, and then I can still, I mean, it's still protected as much as I want. I could have 20 other hidden sheets here that I don't want my employee to access, but they've got to be able to enter data onto these worksheets, and so it allows me to do that. Okay, which you can do all that stuff, but like I said, doing it, having a macro set up to where it automatically does that makes it a little easier. So the way I have this set up right here is, say I'm the employee, I've accessed it, I've added my data. The workbook will save and lock again before I close the workbook. Okay, so the employee doesn't have to worry about, you as the employer or supervisor or whatever, allowing somebody to use this workbook. You don't have to worry about them forgetting to save it, forgetting to lock it. It automatically does that when they go to close the workbook out. So it will always keep your sensitive information protected. So if I'm entering my data and I just hit the X button on the top right corner, before it actually closes, it will automatically save whatever changes have been made, and it will hide sheet 3, 4, and 5, and it will unhide sheet 1. And so then the next time somebody opens it, they'll see the message where they have to enter the password again. You don't have to worry about it saving, and all the information is still open for people to see. So it makes it kind of nice, you know, that you're able to do this kind of stuff with macros and with a lot of the Visual Basics coding, to where you don't have to worry about anything, in Excel just takes care of everything by itself. So I'll show you that right now. I'm just going to close it. I'm not even going to hit the save button. I'm going to close it, then I'll reopen it, and you'll see how it automatically resets it back to where it was. Okay, so it closed. It took a little bit of a couple of seconds to close, because it's going through those steps of hiding those sheets and then unhiding the other one and then saving it and everything. So it took a couple of seconds. Usually if you're on a good fast computer, you don't really even notice that. So I'll reopen it right now and show you what it did. Okay, so it reopened the workbook and it brought us right back to sheet 1, and forces us to put the password in again. Okay, so again, it's the same thing. I didn't even click the save button, but all the work has been saved. All the sheets were hidden, and it brought us right back to the password page. And again, like I said, I've got it set up to where if somebody closes that, and you can bring it right back up with the button and type in the password. You can make this case sensitive. You can make it where it doesn't really matter. Right now I don't have it case sensitive, but I mean, you can set that up however you want. So anyways, I hope this gives you some ideas. It's kind of a cool little thing. Like I said, it's not something that I personally use, but have thought about doing, and I've thought about it because I know there's a lot of sensitive information out there, and if sometimes if you've got something you don't want falling into the wrong hands or anything, it just adds another layer of protection for some of your data. Anyways, I hope this gives you some ideas on something you may want to try doing or have done for you. Anyways, thank you for watching.